Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma friends, in the beginning, just remember yourself. We have no desire to gain anything. So with this practice, we're trying to release everything and nothing to go against with anything, no any resistance. So physically, psychologically, there's nothing that we try to go against. Just bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area and observe the inhalation, exhalation as it is. So in conventional practice, in the beginning, in this samatha meditation, in tranquility meditation, so we always need to follow something to, in the beginning, to settle down our mind. So that's why we take the breathing as the mental object. So when you follow it, you have to be very careful not to think over it or not to interfere with that nature, and just recognize it as it is. So when the inhalation, exhalation happens, in the beginning, recognize it separately. See it separately. So here that you have to remember that we use a word see. So seeing yourself. So when you see, you cannot make it happen. So when you see the inhalation, exhalation, you have to remember, are you seeing inhalation, exhalation, or are you make it happen? Because the seeing, it is a skill, is an art. So with the meditation, we trying to develop that art, seeing. So then you should not interfere with your thoughts, whatever you see, because then you cannot see it. So recognize inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation, and then the beginning, the middle, and end, follow the entire continuation. And while you following, you can notice sometimes inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, like that. So whatever happen, just allow it to happen and accept it and recognize. And this may not going to happen in order, but sometimes if you experience that, just recognize and be aware with your experience and try to go with it. If it is not related with the inhalation, exhalation, then as soon as possible, bring your mind to inhalation, exhalation. And that is the tranquility meditation. So from there, we go to Vipassana meditation. After a few minutes, so drop all the details related with the inhalation, exhalation, and see the, now you are already familiar with it. So when the inhalation, exhalation happen, see how the feelings arise in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and follow that feeling and see that feeling. So when you see the feelings that you know already, it comes as a result of the inhalation, exhalation. So, and when the feelings arise, and according to that feelings, your entire body, It is just not only this place, your entire body react to that. Not only the body, that your whole, the consciousness react to that. But in the beginning, you may not going to see it. So that's why in the surface level, see the feelings and observe it. And see how when the inhalation happens, how the feelings change. When the exhalation happens, how the feelings change. So when the feelings change moment by moment, that you see, the whatever you experience not going to be forever. So the whatever the experience come out of the feelings not going to be forever. That understanding, that recognition, that experience is important. Why? Because that is where you're going to recognize there is no place or moment to settle down. And once you recognize that, the mind drop this becoming nature, the clinging, grasping, holding nature. So that itself make you more relaxed and comfortable. So then again and again go with it. And when it comes to Vipassana, remember sometimes in your mind you have to little bit go deeper with the discipline. It naturally happening in the tranquility state when you develop it, naturally happening. But in the beginning it's like this, that if I give an example, that one samurai around the thousands enemies, how he behaved, and he become more alert, sharp, clear. So same like it says, when you are in Vipassana, when you practice meditation, when you are in the Samatha, when you sitting, be alert like that. And don't make unnecessary movements. See, sometimes you see that when situations come, in movies like that, sometimes when people hide from somebody and stay, even that whatever the even sometimes they don't breathe themselves, they hold the nose, because that sometimes other people can hear it. So like that, when it comes to tranquility meditation, in the samatha meditation, in the vipassana meditation, self-discipline is very important. You giving something for you, because without giving that, you cannot go beyond this level. That is the important. That is why, without sacrifice yourself little bit, your own comfort, you cannot gain your own wisdom. So then always remember, it's like you are kind of like thousands enemies around you. So don't make unnecessary movements, and always be sharp and clear. So that is one thing. And another example, when you're sitting, be like a bird in the throw, or the kind of like a nest. It sometimes that they are in kind of thorn nest, but they sit in that thorns and not get harmed themselves. They become so gentle themselves. They don't make unnecessary movements. So same like yourself, when you sit, it is not uncomfortable. See, always the birds go to the nest and stay there. So same like yourself, when you sit, it cannot make you uncomfortable. It make you comfortable, but at the same time, you become so gentle with the body, even with the mind the same. So remember these two examples yourself, and that may help you while you're practicing. So with that, we're going to practice a little bit. So be comfortable yourself. And your right palm on your left, and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body. Scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we are spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So in the beginning, bring your attention to your body and observe the lower part of your body and see the tightness, heaviness, heat, any feeling, sensation, contact with the cushion or the seat. Don't change anything. Bring attention to your lower back. And your upper back and shoulders. Arms, elbow, forearms, palms, fingers, fingertips. And your chest and abdominal area. and your neck and head. And bring your attention to your whole body. And bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. Deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times. And recognize the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation. And focus your mind to the sensation and recognize inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. Follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft. Little bit put attention to that. And keep your attention to the feelings arise, followed by the inhalation and exhalation. And drop all the details related to the inhalation, exhalation. And make your mind free from all the experience. And bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe, and as far as we can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this mentally, repeat after me with clear intention. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, to your right side, downward, and upward, to all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, so as ordinary people, our main purpose is look for happiness and satisfaction. So why we look that happiness and satisfaction, that itself indicate we are kind of like in a struggle or unhappy mood. So in the very first level, in this spiritual path, what we have to do, we have to first, even in conventional life also, the very first thing we have to get out of that suffering state of the mind. So once you get out of the suffering state or unsatisfactory nature or whatever the difficult or struggle, and then you have to establish the happiness. And in day-to-day life, it is not 24/7 we are not unhappy. There are certain things we do in day-to-day life, some happy things, some good things. Even that life go wrong, it is not all the time, 24/7 it doesn't go wrong. There are some moments come in life that happiness also there. So in the very first level, what you have to do, you have to focus to that happy moment. That happy moment, and little by little, you have to be aware about it. You have to be aware regarding the unhappy moment also. But especially, you have to bring more attention and appreciate what you experience. Especially when you have difficult, unhappy moments or whatever the little things come to you as happiness. So you have to appreciate it. So from there, when we have time, opportunity to gain happiness with the happy mood, we do certain things in life. But if you look very carefully, so listen this very carefully and get this formula, what is happening. So mostly we are unhappy with that unhappy things. When we do things, and what will happen, the mostly unhappy things come to us. And then sometimes in day-to-day life, we have happy moment. We do happy things. And as a result of that happy thing, sometimes there are unhappy things arise. So if you are not wise, when you become happy, when you are in joy, when you are having fun, so whatever you do, if it is bring the happiness, it is okay. But how about when we do sometimes with the happy things, happy moment, we do things, we take decisions. But as a result of that decision, later you're going to suffer. There are a lot of things happen in your life. You cannot reverse it. So that is one thing you have to be careful. You look for happiness, and then with that happy mood, you do something, and as a result of that action, what is happening? Remember, as a result of that action, not something else. So you have to recognize it very carefully. As a result of the action you took when you are in happy mood, then it can lead you to some kind of suffering. It sometimes the life change completely to up and down. And suddenly people go from the joy moment to it's kind of like a heaven to hell. It's because of the decisions they take. It's kind of like a young boy and having a new racing car, and then go to the street and he don't know how to speed, and he don't know that defensive driving. So he don't have any training, and he keep going, and he enjoying, and the thrill overtake his mind. And then what happening? He's happy, but as a result of that, what will happen? The end result. If he get into accident, maybe he die, maybe somebody else die. So like that. In day-to-day life, so we have to understand, we are in happy mood, but with that happy mood, sometimes we take decisions and it's go wrong. So that is one thing. Another thing is, sometimes we are in happy mood, we take decisions, as a result of that we gain happiness. And when you look very carefully, and it will help you to have the everyday the same kind of things, and then later what happens, you get tired, then that tiredness again leads you to unhappiness. So whatever maybe you, whatever the you just think carefully. So whatever that you decide, this is what you want to be happy. So now everything good in your life, you are in the happy mood, and you go for it. And then it brings the happiness, and keep going, keep going, keep going. And in a certain level, you get tired. So that's why the good example is the Prince Siddhartha. And and during that time, in the same age and the same kind of wealth there was another prince called Lyasa. And he also, was so tired about them. And all the Buddhas, the mainly the main disciples. So both of them had the very, very wealthy people. And then what happened? And they get tired. They start to look for something else. So then they go with the happiness, and end of that, the happiness, what is happening? They're going to become unhappy. It is as a result of that happiness, nothing else. So then you have to be very careful yourself. And so you look for happiness, and you have the everything around you is good, and then you keep doing for the happiness, and then as a result of that you gain again the unhappiness. So there is no way to escape from this world lineage. So then what you have to do, if you are really want to be happy, so this is the secret. When you are in the good mood, so whatever the happy things that you do, always remember, out of that happiness, out of that joy, gain some wisdom. Then you're not going to get tired, or you're not going to go to the suffering. That is the highest level of enjoying the life and being in a happy mood. But if whatever the moment that you have, that everything good, that you are in good mood, but if you do something, sometimes it's going to bring the unhappy result, and sometimes it bring the happy result. So you keep going, keep going, keep going. One day you become helpless, and then you get tired. But each and every moment, whatever the happy moment that you go through, whatever you have, even a little moment, out of that moment, if you invest for that happiness, you enjoy it, and at the same time, as an end result, you gain some wisdom, and you uplift your awareness. So that will help again and again, again and again go higher. So that is the way that then it never going to take you to the suffering, it never going to take you to the unhappiness. So then it always, whatever the situation come in your life, even that the moment disappear, even that any moment that you don't get any more that happiness, even you are in a difficult moment because of any other reason, then still you're going to be okay. Even when it comes to the marriage, even when you get into, when you have children, when you have the money, when you have the power, when you have all the facilities, when you have a skill, when you kind of like have education, when you have material things, so whatever the opportunity you have, so that is good for you. But if you don't get the wisdom out of that moment, if you don't uplift your awareness out of that moment, remember, once maybe it will lead you to suffering. And then it become a misery. See, the happiness is there, but still you didn't find it. And then it itself become the misery to yourself. So then yourself, that you are the responsible for that. So then every day remember yourself, whatever the situation is there, and you have to understand it is your first responsibility, especially when you are in the happy moment, and try to see the good things and get the whatever the profitable things to your life. Even when you are in the so in the beginning I mentioned sometimes we are in unhappy mode. So what is the best that we can get out of the unhappiness, rather than struggling to find the happiness? When you are in unhappy mode, maybe you're struggling to find the happiness. But if you wait little bit and gain the wisdom out of that unhappiness in that very moment, that you going to change the situation to happiness. But when we are in the unhappy moment, or when we are in a struggle, when we are in sad, worry moment, maybe we struggling to get out of it and finding the happiness somewhere. But it's not going to work mostly. It always lead us to, it's kind of like a mistake lead us to another mistake. So then, rather than going and struggling with something, with your unhappy moment, if you're able to find what is the lesson that you can gain, And if you look a little bit why this happened to me like this way, in that very moment, you turn that unhappiness to the happy mode. You turn that misery to bliss. So that is a journey that it's a the process that happening inside us always. So somehow these 4 steps, we all are in somewhere in these 4 steps. So then look yourself that it is not something better than this or that. It always how you use it to develop your awareness. As a human being, our most powerful thing, the moment, is developing our awareness. So when it comes to that, and mainly why that even that we are in the good mood or we are in the happy mood, why that we go to unhappiness or the suffering? So much teachings in the world, and people know they are even their own experience they have when they come to their own life, and even that in the society, through the culture, tradition, through every religion, teach us. And why still the people go towards the unhappiness? There are 3 mistakes we does. So the one thing is, when things come to us, like whatever exists and whatever come to our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, we take it as a whole. We take it as the complete entity, and it's a, and we don't see it is kind of like a part of something. So whatever, see, as example, when we see the pen, so suddenly when we see it, we take it as a complete pen. And so everything always with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So even whatever come to the mind as a name or form, so once it come, we take it as a whole entity, complete entity. But this pen, even though it appear like this is not complete. There is something incomplete this. That's why, as example, when it come to the product, so I tell you one example. So take like when it come to this consumer product, mostly that Apple, computers, phones, so watch, so whatever they introduce, and go back to last year, their ketone, this convention, this first time when they introduced that, and what they say, and they unveil their computer telling, oh, this is the fastest, this is the best computer in the world. And the phone, and they say, oh, this and details, this is it. So we take it as whole or complete. And then after 6 months, watch that it is, you can watch all this online. So after 6 months, see the same person come with a different phone or different computer and tell this is the best. So how about then that 6 months ago that he told that is the best, and now he telling this is the best. So that is a mistake. The whole world, not the only them, the whole world. That is the nature of the we are in the samsara. Even the automobile industry. So whatever the car they introduce, But the first time when they unveil the car and how they give the detail, they tell it is nothing, else like that. That's how they say. But the same car in the next year, they come with the different performance and telling, and this is the best. So the mistake is when we see something in the first time, we take it as a whole. We think it is complete entity, but there's nothing complete entity. It's like, look, when a child born, it is not complete. Even though it is complete, it is not. If it is complete, why the child grow? And the child not born with the teeth, and then little by little, the child doesn't not going to born with the white hair. So then little by little, when the child get old, it's become different. So even in the young, it doesn't make, it's not complete. It's in a process. This everything, even the entire universe, in a journey, it's still in a process. But when something come to us, do you see that? When you hear something, you see that? When you smell something, when you eat something, do you see it is not complete? Or are you going to take it as a whole? Oh, this is it, that nothing else. And when you want to buy something, you think that is it. There's nothing else. And when you want to marry somebody, when you have an affair, when you come to relationship, there's nothing else. When the newly born babies, there's nothing else. That's it. When you find something what you like, that is it. That leads you, even you are in the happy mood, happy moment. It creates a happy moment, but it leads you to suffering, because in that happy moment, you see something in a wrong way. So as example, when it comes to relationships, look at the world today. And nowadays, this divorce cases going, it's a higher than more than any other time. All over the world. It is not only one country, all over the world. But when it comes to relationship, in the beginning, when you see the partner, when you see your lover, so in the very first time, why it's a happy moment. If there are reasons to be happy, it is a happy moment. But in that happy moment, you take this person, girl or boy, man or woman, it doesn't matter. Man or woman with the women, it doesn't matter. You take, this is it. There's nothing else. That decision later take you to the hell. See how people suffer? Because of their own, see, remember, don't blame to anybody. Don't blame to partner. They suffer because of their own decision. That happened from the ancient time. It's in sutras. This. See. So one thing is, when you are in the happy moment, you see things as whole. That is it. It is complete with everything. And the second thing is mostly you take it as permanent. And it's as example, it's our own body. We take this hand permanent. So from it was yesterday and it is today and it should be tomorrow. Same. So then in case if something happened, if I cannot move, then I look, why, what happened? Because why? Yesterday I moved my wrist and today I move. So then tomorrow, if I cannot move it, what will happen? Then I start to. So the same thing to entire body. So this permanent idea comes because yesterday we had it. We think like that. And then we take the same way today also it like this, and we have idea tomorrow should be like this. To make it clear, I will give Example, when I born, if my hand, my wrist like this, if I cannot move, if it is kind of like a, you know, that like iron ball tight like this, if I cannot move my fingers, so it like this straight, do you think that tomorrow I going to move it's like this? No. Why? Because I know yesterday it was like this and today it like this, and tomorrow I have no idea it should be like this. Even that whole world come and tell and everybody and so, but I going to accept it myself, it is like this. So we take these things as permanent, and in day-to-day life, whatever we experience in deeper, it's subtle, you know, deeply, it happened very sharp way with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, even very single thought, you take it as permanent, mostly, because yesterday you experienced, and today you experiencing it, and because of you, you thinking about tomorrow to do it, and then when it come to tomorrow, what will happen? You're not going to give up. You don't see the change happening. So that permanent idea, even within ourselves, see, that is where the self arises. Self. Why? Because I was yesterday, and that is the biggest misery. We thinking about even ourselves, which not exist really something as self, but still we believe in it. That is one of the biggest misery that happening to us. There is nothing permanent entity exist inside us, but still we ourselves believing we are having something like that. Forget about other things. How about? So that is why the self-realization is in this path is one thing. So that is the mistake that leads us to suffering. Even you are in the happy moment, even you are in the unhappy moment, even you are in the happy moment. So in that happy moment, if you look something and if you take a decision out of that thinking, that entity, whatever the things, permanent, then your life going to end with unhappiness. That is the worldly nature. Another thing is that we always take this, that the things as in that independent, even ourselves. We ourselves, mostly our ideas, our things that in day-to-day life, we claim things and we see things, we accept things as independent. But if you look very carefully, everything interdepending, everything. Even when it comes to our body, that always, even the one atom exists, there is as an atom, there it exists, that existence not going to be positive if there is not any other atoms the interfering to that. So same like in the energy, in the world, in the universe, everything, whatever you experience in this very moment, it's not going to become reality if other things not the helping for it. But the thing is, when it comes to life, we don't see it. We think it is independent. But there is nothing. When it comes to, when we're going to buy something, you know, you see the, maybe you, that you just go with the face value and you see the label, oh, this is this much, and then you buy it. You go to the counter, and then the counter, they charge you tax. Why? Because the government need to provide necessary facilities to keep that like that. And transport system, they need to use the government road, and maybe electricity, it need to keep it safe, and the environment. So like that. So the government need to maintain the roads or the public facilities, this everything, to keep that there. But you don't see it. Then when you go in, oh, the bill was like that. Why this the tax, the tax too high like this? Even you buy a TV and you bring it, then after that, what you need? You need cable. Every month you have to pay for that. There is no TV that you can watch without cable. So then you need the cable box. They charge for the box. And then even the channels, different packages, you have to pay for it. But when you say you watching TV, you buy a TV, what does that mean? You think it is independent entity? And then just think, you bring a girl or boy, you bring a husband or wife. You think it is an independent entity? No, it comes with the backpack. You don't see it. They have family, and maybe you like this person, but how about their parents and brothers, sisters? Friends and family members around. And maybe he having friends, some friends. But you don't see that them in the beginning. You see only as one person. Then what happened? And even the children born, they come as, one person. Oh, you see, it is independent. And how about when the child become little by little young, and they're going to bring some unknown people to your house, and whole night, maybe you have to stay in one room. They're going to spend whole night and having party, and which you don't like maybe. That is not the life that you want maybe. And maybe they go out, and maybe they start to get into wrong people, and their behavior become completely different than you think. So, but in the beginning you thought it come as a one entity. No, it is not like that. So in everything, there's nothing exists as a single entity. It's always depend from something. That is where the causality in this cause and effect, dependent origination, we talk in Buddhism. So then yourself, when you are in the happy mood, whatever, if you think something as independent entity, out of that decision, whatever you take, it's going to go wrong. Why? Because in the very first level, even though you are happy, that doesn't mean that what you see going to be right, because the point of view is wrong. So that's why when you are in the happy mood, so don't get into these three views. What are those? One is, don't get anything as whole. It's always not going to be complete. See that every day you see your nails growing, your hair growing. There are dead bodies. After they die, still there is a the process keep going. So it is not complete. Another thing is, always remember, know that. So whatever it is okay. Go for whatever you want. It is your life. You have to do whatever you like. Go for it. But no, it is not complete. Then the whatever tomorrow you experience, you're going to be okay. Why? Because you knew, even though it is so beautiful today, and the tomorrow it's going to become so ugly. So you accept it. But how about you thinking that it always should be beautiful, and I saw it as a beautiful yesterday, then why this today it became ugly? You didn't see that incomplete part. So then always remember, nothing is complete. It's always in a process. Everything, whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, everything. Sometimes even to understand it's a little bit, hard, but still, at least as an idea, keep it in your mind. Everything in a process. Another thing is that everything is not permanent. It's always has to change. It's in a journey. It's in everything in that the changing always. There's nothing permanent. So whatever you see, you accept it, go for anything in your life. But remember, just know it's always going to change. Another thing is nothing is independent. It always, maybe we don't see it, but still there are things behind it. Nothing exists independently. It always depending from something. That if you don't know that, that doesn't mean you're not going to suffer out of because your ignorance. No, it always that it happening. So this is a wisdom like keep in your life. It's like the dog. If the dog loses the ability to smell, that dog going to have a very hard time. It's like a dead dog. If the human as ourselves, if we don't lose, if you don't have this wisdom within ourselves, that your happiness is always going to become end with the misery. So that's why nothing wrong with becoming happy and nothing wrong enjoying life, nothing wrong having fun yourself, but always remember this nature in life. So once you have it, you are always, so whatever the moment come to you, in that very moment right away, you're not going to stuck, clinging, holding, grasping that moment. You always just knowingly that itself uplift you with your wisdom. And that will help you to day by day, come closer to the ultimate liberation of the Nibbana. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cammihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu.